Hopkinsville on Fort Campbell Boulevard next to O'Charlie's, and in Princeton Plaza. ABC Finance. All loans subject to normal credit approval.
It's a President's Day blowout sale at Autobell. If you've been wanting premium level hearing aids, now's the time at Autobell. Through the end of the month, you can get a set of premium level hearing aids for the price of one, and your hearing evaluation is free. Call Autobell today to schedule an appointment. See more details online at AutobellHearingPaducah.com.
Come experience the Autobell difference. Offices in Paducah, Murray, and Princeton. Call 270-554-1900 today.
T-Mobile has a new store in Princeton. To celebrate, they're throwing a grand opening celebration Friday, February 18th from 1 to 3 at their new location, 530 U.S. Highway 62 West. Stop by to learn about T-Mobile's amazing coverage and great value. There'll be games and awesome giveaways while supplies last. Swing by the store Friday, February 18th from 1 to 3 to join the festivities. They thank you for wearing a mask and socially distancing.
Trice Hughes has been serving Western Kentucky for over 60 years. Their experienced sales force, ASE certified techs, and all the friendly folks at Trice Hughes have worked to become your family's exclusive automotive dealer. The home team that's kept our families safe on the road for generations. From work to play and everything in between, your home team has what you need. Stop by and drive the difference. Our home team, Trice Hughes, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
West Kentucky Real Estate and Auction holds monthly auctions at the Auction Center on U.S. Highway 62 in Princeton, in the former Hancock's grocery store. Be sure to check their website for dates and times and listings of auctions and days at the Auction Center. WestKentuckyRealEstate.com has all of their upcoming auctions listed. If you would like to have an auction or would like to find out how to consign at an auction, contact West Kentucky Real Estate and Auction. Wayne Boyd, broker auctioneer.
Your local McDonald's wants you to know that they're ready to serve you for breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the drive-thru. They're offering curbside pickup service as well. To avoid the wait in the drive-thru, you can download the McDonald's app and try curbside pickup. They appreciate your patience and understanding during this time. We're all having to adjust. It's temporary, but in the meantime, enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner at your local McDonald's.
If you really enjoy the stories you hear on Traveling the Bluegrass, we'd like to invite you to listen to the whole visit uncut. Just type youragadge.com into your browser. You'll find Traveling the Bluegrass uncut stories in long form, so you don't miss a thing. You'll also find lots of ag news and farm pictures from across the Commonwealth. You can also find all the Kentucky communities that Traveling the Bluegrass can be found. Remember to visit youragadge.com.
With YourSportsEdge.com, you get more coverage of your favorite teams, athletes, and sports.
Lets me know the student as a whole person.
With no page limits or subscription fees ever.
It means exposure for the local high school athlete.
A new look and a new feel, no matter where you are.
Even if I'm out of town, I have it on my phone.
It's always available right at your fingertips.
Round-the-clock coverage of local athletes.
High school sports coverage the way it's supposed to be.
I love what they did with the website.
Download the free app now. YourSportsEdge.com.
It's time for your SportsEdge.com Sideline Report with Todd Griffin. Talking sports and more here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
Good morning, everyone. The Sideline Report is on the air from 1035 West Main Street in Princeton. Thanks for joining us today on a rainy Thursday morning in Princeton. Got a big show lined up for you today. We'll be talking a lot of basketball, and we're going to start off the show with Tori Hammett, who is the organizer for the West Kentucky Hoops Classic. He joins us in the studio this morning, and Tori, I'm glad you were able to make it in through the rain.
Yeah, it's a little bit rainy out there, so yeah, take an umbrella and a raincoat for sure, because you're going to need it.
Drive carefully if you're out there on the roads. There's a lot of water right now on the roadways, so Tori, I'm just hoping to dry out by the time our show ends.
Yes, as I sit here wet right now, I would like to be dry. But hey, you gotta press through it, right?
Well, we've had about a month and a half now since the West Kentucky Hoops Classic was concluded. Looking back on it, what are kind of your initial thoughts on how this year's tournament went?
Yeah, so it went really well. We had some opportunities to have I think 5 or 6 different states represented, which is always kind of cool to bring in teams from multiple states, Missouri, Mississippi, a couple teams from Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky. So it was kind of cool to get to see that. And then this year we had that kind of local rivalry flavor built into it too, where the Line girls played our Katawa girls and the Line boys played the Katawa boys, and both those games were really contested, high energy games that I think the fan base liked. So it was just cool to see all the folks from our 2 counties show up in the cab. It was full and it was nice to do. So that was kind of a nice feature. But we had some really good talent. Many of the teams that we had in their respective states are already in the state tournament and competing for the state tournament. I know Kentucky's a little bit behind that, but and we've got several teams left, and Kentucky's still playing with hopes for more. But we had some good teams, so it was good basketball.
You know, you mentioned that, and you don't really realize it until you start looking, but Kentucky high school basketball teams really play a lot of games. You know, up in Indiana, they play about 20 or 22 regular season games, and they're ready to go. And in Kentucky, I think you can play up to 30. So
it is good. I mean, I'm all for more games.
Yeah,
the more the better. And I don't know what it is. Maybe I think Kentucky starts a little late, like they start like right after Thanksgiving or something like that. Whereas a lot of these schools that we're getting, you know, Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama, they start like November 10th. So they're 2 weeks in by the time they get to Kentucky playing. But all good. Every state's got their own gig, so it's all good stuff.
Well, you talk about bringing in good players and good teams. One of the top players we saw at the Hoops Classic this year was a guy named Jabrianne Spike.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Jabrianne has done really, really well, and good for him, because he's a very good young man. Probably not even met his full potential yet. I'd say he's got a little growing left in him, but there's so many facets of his game that are so good, and of course he's got things to work on too. But looks to me to be a great teammate. You know, he scores a ton of points, but oftentimes it's not from like hogging the ball. Mm-hmm. It's just he's working so hard. Like the other night, what did he have? 14 rebounds.
Yeah,
and most of those rebounds, 59 points, 14 rebounds, and most of those rebounds, at least half, are offensive rebounds where he's putting the ball right back in. So he's tough and he's strong, and I'm telling you, if he gets his hands on it, nobody else is getting that, because physically, nobody rips it from his hands.
Well, if anybody missed the news, he had 59 over at Hopkinsville the other night, and it was a remarkable game, and the Tigers were a little short-handed in that contest, so he actually had to pick up more of the scoring load, and as the game went along, he scored more and more points, and the Tigers came back from a 21-point deficit, got to within 2 late because of that, and like I said, it was just a remarkable game to watch.
Yeah, I had a gentleman sitting next to me that was Hopkinsville fan, older gentleman, and looked like he'd watched them quite a bit. And I told him pretty fresh into the game when they came out in a straight man, not double teaming Jabrianne at the 3-point line. I said, "Oh, they're going to be in trouble. One guy's not going to stop him." And they continued all night to play straight man on him, and he just killed them. I mean, he killed them. Now, granted, we took it on the chin, took the loss, and Hopkinsville's good, but one kid's not guarding him, and a lot of teams are now double teaming him and running at him to get the ball out of his hands. But I guess they thought we'll just man him and can do it, but they couldn't.
That was a school record 59-point performance by Jabrianne Spikes over at Hopkinsville on Tuesday. Tigers finish up the regular season Friday at home against Crittenden County. We're talking this morning with Tori Hammett of the West Kentucky Hoops Classic. Need to get to time out here on the show. Coming up a little bit later, we'll be joined by Hopkins County Central boys basketball head coach Michael Fralix, a former Tiger standout himself. So stay with us. We continue on the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Get into shape and feel good at Trilogy Performance Sports. Trilogy offers a wide range of family-friendly classes as well as personal training, yoga, gymnastics, sports training, cardio, and weightlifting. Trilogy has something for everyone. Trilogy now offers an app with online workouts, live classes, nutrition tracking, and more. Search Trilogy Performance Sports in your app store. Use sign-up code 1824. For app info and more, follow them on Facebook.
Christian Care Center of Katawa is now Landmark of Katawa. The ownership and name have changed, but the caring and commitment from the staff and administration is the same. Landmark of Katawa cares for their residents, and you can be assured your loved one will be treated with the dignity, courtesy, and compassion they deserve. The residents are friends and family to them, and they do their best to ensure that each one lives to the fullest of their ability, nurturing body, mind, and spirit. Call Landmark of Katawa, 270-388-2291.
Imagine this. It's late at night, it's cold and dark, and you have a flat tire. One never knows when old Betsy's going to cause you problems. There's only one place to call, Wallace Towing and Recovery in Princeton. Wallace Towing and Recovery is a 24/7 towing and recovery service. You can count on Wallace Towing and Recovery to get you safe and back on the road or to a repair shop. Wallace Towing and Recovery will jumpstart your vehicle, change a tire, deliver gas, unlock a door, or haul it to the garage or scrapyard. Wallace Towing and Recovery has you covered in Princeton and surrounding areas. Call Wallace Towing and Recovery. Check them out on Facebook, and when you need a tow or roadside help, call Wallace Towing and Recovery at 270-963-9081.
Life is filled with moments. Moments we share with those we love, worry about, and strive to protect the most. At Woodman Life, we provide life insurance and retirement products to help protect you and your family so that you can enjoy all the moments to come.
This is Josh Ray, your local Woodman Life agent. Come see us at 1009 West Main Street or give us a call at 365-6111.
Certain eligibility and age restrictions apply. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
January is gone. That means we're 1 month closer to spring, and February is the month of love. That special lady on your list would love a gift or a gift certificate from the Joshua Tree. There's still lots of winter left, and the Joshua Tree has winter clothes. But new spring arrivals are making their way into the boutique. Stop by and visit the most unique collection of clothes around at the Joshua Tree Boutique, located on the Court Square in beautiful, historic downtown Princeton.
Welcome back to the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Talking this morning in the studio with Tori Hammett of the West Kentucky Hoops Classic. And Tori, fun to talk about the Tigers and that game Jabrianne had the other night. We could probably do an entire show on that. But yeah. I know you're already well into the process of scheduling the Hoops Classic for this upcoming season.
Yeah, so we talked about the dates because Christmas falls on a Sunday. It's kind of tough to get teams to pull out from their location on a Christmas day. So we elected to back up just a couple of days so to get that Thursday and Friday, the 22nd of December and the 23rd of December. Unbeknownst to us, that's actually been a good thing. We did compete with a few big tournaments post-Christmas. But going to pre-Christmas, we don't seem to have as many that we compete with. So we've had some teams jump on board already. Of course, we have our home team, Caldwell, who is the host team. So Biggersville, Mississippi, most people will remember them. They won both their games up here and had that overtime game that was down to the wire where they won on a last-second tip-in. They're coming back with their boys and girls, and they're actually both playing in the current Mississippi 1A state tournament right now. Of course, Mississippi's got classes, so they have a 1A through 5A champion, but I feel like Biggersville boys will win that. I'm not sure about the girls. Hey, testament to Henderson's girls, who really beat Biggersville bad girls.
Yeah, that was probably the most lopsided game we've seen out here.
Yes, so testament to them because Biggersville's girls are now 26-2.
Oh, wow.
In the 1A in Mississippi. So for Henderson to do them like that, what a good job by Henderson. So yeah, Caldwell, Biggersville, and then we picked up in all the Twitter interactions that I'm doing with coaches and teams and just promoting us out there for the West Kentucky Hoops Classic. I had a team from Florida call me and ask could they get in. So we talked a little bit about it. I checked them out a little bit, and they've got a what they believe just in researching that's one of the best 20. Let's see, he'll be a junior next year, so one of the best guards in the state of Florida. Kid averaging 30 points a night as a sophomore, and then they have a freshman guard that's that they think will be a top guard in the state as well. As he ages, so he'll be there too. So they're guard heavy, but they're coming from Bradenton Christian, Florida, all the way to Princeton, Kentucky.
Oh, wow.
So we're excited about that. First time to ever have a team from the state of Florida. Usually folks are trying to get to Florida, and they're coming to the Bluegrass, so that's exciting. Then we've got so some of our most top teams, Fairfax Christian, Virginia. They're going to roll in with a couple D1 kids, a kid with a Virginia Tech offer already, and then other people are looking at him even right now. So Fairfax Christian, Virginia, which is cool, again, because that's a state we've never had a team from. So that'll be Florida and Virginia for the first time. Well, and to back that up, we have our first school ever coming from Georgia. Not sure why we've always missed on Georgia, but have just never been able to get. Well, there is a huge tournament in Georgia, and a lot of Georgia teams stay home to play in it, which is reasonable. But anyway, it's McDonough, Georgia, and they're coming from like 800 miles away. So Virginia, Florida, Georgia for the first time ever. Now, McDonough's good. Matter of fact, they're real good. They're number 1 right now in the state of Georgia in 4A and like number 8 in the state of Georgia. And Georgia is a very high-quality basketball state. So I've got probably 25, 30 more offers out. And kind of what I do is I just start talking to teams and tweeting teams and emailing teams. And so I've got 25 plus offers out. Not going to have enough for everybody because I think soon as the season ends, a lot of guys have said, let me get through the season. But we're interested. So at the rate we're filling up, I'm going to have to tell a lot of people no, which is a testament to West Kentucky Hoops Classic and this Caldwell County community because folks are wanting to come. And I'm going to tell some really good teams no. I've got a team in Georgia that I know wants to come. They've got a junior that's committed to Georgia already, not even his senior yet. And I don't think we'll be able to take 2 Georgia teams, so I'm going to end up having to tell them no, which is unbelievable. A couple teams out of Chicago. That's what I'm really trying to get an Illinois team, so another new state. So I've got St. Rita, Whitney Young, and then a team from a little bit closer, East St. Louis, Illinois. So I'm trying to lock us in one of those. And then I'm pushing for North Carolina. Got a couple of leads in North Carolina with some coaches that I've talked to. Again, they're in their playoffs, so they're busy, but I'm trying to get them. Got a Missouri team that's on the hook, an Alabama team on the hook, and a Tennessee team on the hook that I believe will get at least 2 of those 3. They're just at the point where, and those are the Alabama teams, the number 2 in the state of Alabama right now, and have most of their players coming back. The team in Tennessee is one of the top 5 teams in Tennessee, and they've got most of their stuff coming back. And then the Missouri team's like 23rd in the state of Missouri right now, so it'll be loaded. And I just don't see how, barring something crazy happening, I think we'll have a full slate of really, really good teams. I'm still got one little local flavor here I'm trying to work on, so we're going to see if we can pull that off. So not sure yet. Now on the female side, it is full, and thanks Coach Chuck for getting on that so quick and helping, because I don't really recruit the girls teams. However, Biggersville's girls are coming from Mississippi, so we do have them coming back for 2 games. Last year they only played the 1. It was kind of a late ad. But this year they're going to play 2, so we're excited about having them up here. And then Caldwell County, Lyon County, again, so we'll get that Lyon County-Caldwell matchup for the girls. And then Christian County girls are going to come this year. So Chuck they had reached out and asked could they participate, and Coach Chuck was talking to them a little bit, asked us what we thought, and said, yeah, let's get it's nice to have some local teams. So Christian County will come up here and play in that. So there'll be four girls teams.
Well, when you got involved with the West Kentucky Hoops Classic, did you kind of envision it getting to the point it is now where you'd have to tell teams, sorry, we're full?
Well, I didn't really know for sure. I thought it was doable just because I know teams are looking for places to go, and then they look for the best places to go. And we do thankful for our sponsors and our administration, because we're allowed to do some things financially to help get some teams here and provide some resources for them, although it's not near enough, but to get them here free. But that we've got some opportunity to do that. Got a few hotels in the region that work with us a little bit for a little bit better rate. So it's just trying to be the best we can be with the 2 days that we have, with the best teams we can get. And I enjoy that part, the recruiting, the promotion, the marketing, all that stuff. Man, that's in my wheelhouse, and I love doing that. I like to go, let me see how the best I can get, and can I talk you into it, and what I got to do to get you here. So I just like that stuff. So,
well, we've probably talked about it before, but there's a little wheeling and dealing going on to get the teams here, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's not, teams don't necessarily lead with that, but they want to know. They'll ask it much less pressure than that. But what do you guys do to help us get there with our with our expenses. So we immediately start. I just tell them, look, it's negotiable. It just depends on what you're going to be bringing to the table, and then what we can bring to the table, and what are you going to need. Typically for the teams that have to stay 2 nights, coming from 7 or 8 hours away, we'll do the 2 nights of 6 hotel rooms. If we do 2 hotel room nights, we likely don't do any cash. If we do 1 hotel room, we'll give them a little cash. But we also have, there's a lot of people doing a lot of stuff that nobody really ever sees. They're catering a team meal on the first night back in the cafeteria area, which is a good meal, and those teams just go back there, in amongst their games and have their supper. So that's a team meal for them, it's expensive to do a team meal for our basketball teams. They like to eat. So that is a group of people that are working that people often don't even see. And then we're super thankful that Brother Harold and HR Ministries and a lot of those volunteers do a breakfast event for us. So, you've been a part of that, Todd, to see that. We had Goose Givens this year. We had ex-Mississippi State basketball player Gary Cavness first year. We've had, you Kentucky people don't get on to me, but Kentucky basketball player Cameron Mills spoke 2 years ago, or maybe it was the year after COVID. I can't remember. I get mixed up.
I think it was the year before COVID.
Before COVID. Yeah. So we've had a Mississippi State player, which that was hard for me to swallow, but Gary's a good guy, so I went on and went with it. And then of course Kentucky, and 2 Kentuckys. So that event has been really, really good, and the teams that have attended that, which is voluntary, but the teams that have attended that always have looked like they really enjoyed it, and we end up giving gifts away there. So I promote that when I'm telling them, hey, look, we got a breakfast event with a speaker that's going to be a high quality speaker that's going to speak into your kid's life, give them some good news and some motivation type stuff that the kids can chew on, and then we're going to give them some gift cards. Every table's got a basketball on it that we draw for. So most of those kids left with something, from a $10 gift card to a basketball to maybe even a $25 gift card. So I've yet to have a coach not tell me. Matter of fact, just testimony to that event as well as West Kentucky Hoops Classic, I was talking to Coach Newton Mealer, who was Center Hill's coach. And when they came here, I think 4 years ago, he is now coaching junior college at Jones Community College. And I reached out to him the other day just to tell him about Jabrianne and said, hey, I got a kid that you need to put your eyes on. Not real sure what his plans are. He's got NAIA offers and even more offers. I said, but you need to look at me. He said, Coach, he thinks I'm a coach. I tell him I'm not a coach, but he's like, I'm going to give him a look. And he said, and I just want to go back and tell you, that's probably the best, most influential tournament that my team has ever been to at any level to come up there. And I told him how much I appreciated that, and that I would share that, and that he needed to look at Jabrianne.
Well, I was going to ask if when some of these teams come here, is there some culture shock in coming to Princeton? And, it's not like you're bringing somebody to Memphis or St. Louis. Right. But maybe some of those teams, this is what they want. They want to get away from all that and just kind of have a, it's a small town tournament, but it's a big event too.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of team building in that. I mean, I've had folks ask me, what is there to do? And I generally tell them about some local things that are, we have a local bowling alley. We're within 45 miles of movie theaters. You can do things like that. We've had a team drive their kids out through Land Between the Legs and do a little looking out through there. So I think it's the getaway and spending some time with just their team bonding type stuff. That's what I've heard them say before. But I've never heard anyone say anything that wasn't positive about the hospitality given here, the treatment, and then the event and the games that they got to play. They've always been pretty happy with things.
Well, and talk about trying to put together those matchups, because you want to give everybody, a fair shake as far as playing somebody competitive.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just think we've been blessed with a little good fortune there, because, you can look at those rosters and height's not always an indicator. And even points per game for a kid's not necessarily an indicator of what the whole team's like. So it's kind of difficult, but we look around and I just kind of watch a few games early in the season to see what they look like, and then just try to pair them up. But we've had very few runouts. I mean, very few runouts. We've had a few, but it's not been very many, man. We've had incredible games. We've had many overtime games. We've had buzzer beaters. I mean, the boy from Webb hits a 3-quarter shot to put that in overtime, and then Bearsville tips it in overtime. So, man, I don't know what else a person could ask for. But if you're missing it, you need to not miss it. You need to be, if you like basketball at all, you need to be in the building, because we've had some historic games some good teams. We've had an NBA first-round draft pick with the Bassey kid. Keon Johnson that played at Tennessee, and then number 2 draft pick in the Bassey kid. So there's some dudes that come through there that I didn't know when we had Evansville Bossy. I didn't know that kid was that good, but he played in the Final Four for Houston. I was texting Daniel. I'm like, this kid's the kid that played for Bossy that was in our gym. So there's some dudes that play out there and some good ladies that play out there. So it's good basketball. No reason to do anything on those 2 days, but just sit there and enjoy it.
Well, is there anything you would like to add to the Hoops Classic, or anything you'd, after looking at it for the last few years, that you'd do maybe a little differently or anything?
Yeah, I'd like to add more games. Yeah. That's what I want. And but we're trying. I know Daniel probably hates when I call, because he knows I'm probably asking for something that he might not be able to get done. But testament to our administration, because we, right out of the chute from when I got involved, we had that issue where, a team just was a little bit too aggressive, and it caused a little trouble. Of course, hadn't seen nothing like that since. Probably never will. But the administration has been really giving to us to give those 2 days up, because they have to, that's days that they would be off. So they're around the gym trying to help us out. I talked to I've talked to them about different things, but we feel like, it's been profitable for us as a fundraiser, which that bleeds into all of our sports, because some of our sports, tennis, golf, don't bring as much finances to the table. So this event get some money into all their hands through the administration, through the athletic department. And I think this year we're gonna push around $10,000, make it around $10,000, which is more than we've done in the past. So that's pretty cool, because that goes a long way to help those kids, because it's really about the kids, with the best event that we can give them to support what they're doing out there playing, because they're putting in all that time. But thankful for the administration. But as far as adding things, I don't really know that unless we bounced out to a third day, there's really not much we could put in place, because time prevents, say, a dunk contest or a 3-point contest. We just don't have time to filter that in and play as much good basketball. And I've weighed that out. I'd rather have more teams and more basketball and leave some of that stuff out, because I think the kids they want to play. I think the people want to see them play.
Yeah, it's a great 2 days of basketball. Can't wait to that. Tori, we're almost to spring sports, though. How's tennis looking?
Yeah. So tennis is going to be, I think we'll be good in the region again. We're still young on the female side. Just with we've got several of those ladies. Well, I actually think all of them coming back, and then got a new little group of younger ladies that have decided to play this year. So we're right now in the winter tennis, where we're working at the Kentucky Dam Village indoor tennis. About 7 weekends in a row, with some 2 professionals helping those folks get better. But the boys, we have everybody back except Jordan, so we should be competitive in the region again. I mean, we may have a chance to win the boys region, and the girls are just getting better. So this year, depending on how they develop, and then next year they'll be a bigger factor in the region as well. So it's good stuff.
Appreciate you coming in today, especially with the weather, and giving us some good info on the West Kentucky Hoops Classic.
Looking forward to it, man. We'll appreciate the time y'all let us have, and we'll stay at it. And I do want to thank, we don't have time right now for me to read them all off, but I do want to thank our sponsors, those that give to this through the MVP and through the Teammate and then through the title. We're thankful for you. It wouldn't be the same without you. So we'll give you opportunity again to be involved in the better we can do at that, the better we can get the West Kentucky Hoops Classic to be. So thanks to Katawa County and Princeton.
That's Tori Hammett, the West Kentucky Hoops Classic organizer. Again, thanks for coming in this morning through the rain. Need to get to a break here on the show. Former Caldwell County Tiger Michael Fralix will be in here next. He's now the boys head coach over at Hopkins County Central. So we'll be talking some more basketball. Stay with us here on the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Princeton Drug Store is proud to announce that COVID vaccinations are available at their location in downtown Princeton. Learn more at princetondrugstore.com.
A wind advisory from the National Weather Service remains in effect from 6 o'clock this morning until 6 o'clock tonight as a large storm system rolls through the weather edge listening area and most of western Kentucky. This afternoon, showers and possibly a thunderstorm can be expected. Some of those storms could produce some heavy rainfall, a high of 66. And again, that breezy south wind will move to the west by the afternoon. Gusts could be as high as 45 to 50 miles an hour. That chance of precipitation is 100% guaranteed. Then tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms right around sundown and thereafter. Mostly cloudy skies with a low of 22 and a north-northwest wind that could still be as high as 35 miles an hour at times, even after midnight. That chance of precipitation 50%. Friday, much calmer and a little chillier. Sunny skies, high of 41. Friday night, clear skies with a low around 28. But back to this afternoon, it's going to be warm, high of 66. With a wind advisory in effect and a storm system rolling through.
Trice Hughes has been serving Western Kentucky for over 60 years. Their experienced sales force, ASE certified techs, and all the friendly folks at Trice Hughes have worked to become your family's exclusive automotive dealer. The home team that's kept our families safe on the road for generations. From work to play and everything in between, your home team has what you need. Stop by and drive the difference. Our home team, Trice Hughes, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
Goodwin Insurance Agency and Woodall Agency have great news. Effective January 1st, they have joined forces to provide even more options for all your insurance needs. Together, they provide the best prices and coverage from top-rated insurance companies and insure all lines of insurance. See Tori Hammett or Fred Foltz or go to insurewithgoodwin.com for more information. Don't pay too much for your insurance. Let them shop for you and save today.
This is the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Thanks for joining us this morning. In the studio with us right now is former Caldwell County Tigers standout Michael Fralix, who's enjoying a great season with your Hopkins County Central Storm, and district tournament time coming up, so what better time for basketball?
That's right. This is my probably my favorite time of year.
Yeah.
Is right before district tournament time.
Well, and you've just had the Super Bowl, and spring sports are coming along, and postseason time for basketball, and you guys have drawn Caldwell County next week, so seen them twice, and they've both been competitive.
Yeah, they've both been very good games, very competitive. First time we played them at our house, we dug ourselves a little hole, got down 10 or 12, came back and tied it with two wide open layups at 59-59, and we missed them. And we couldn't make a shot there in the fourth quarter that really hurt us. Over here, same thing happened. Played decent for a half, and then one half we didn't shoot it very well. Most games this season, if we don't shoot it very well, because that's what we base everything around, is getting up a large quantity of shots, and if they're not falling for us, then it's hard for us to beat teams sometimes.
Well, you guys this season kind of remind me of Caldwell last season. In a whole lot of games, but just can't quite get over the hump at the end. But then this year, Caldwell learned a little bit better how to finish off those games, and I think that's where you guys are headed next season.
Yeah, my assistants and I were talking yesterday. We were talking about how, the abbreviated season last year, only playing 12 games. We're learning lessons this year that we should have learned last year, so we actually should be a step farther than we are. That put us a little behind the 8 ball, but we've got a great group of guys. They've shown up in tornadoes, pandemics, quarantines. We've been hit hard in Hopkins County, seems like, the past 2 years with canceling games. We're 13-10 right now, but we lost a game with Trigg, we lost a game with Crittenden, we lost a game with McLean, with Marshall, so we could easily be 16, 17-10.
Well, this season's still better than last year, though. You mentioned you guys didn't even get to play half a season.
Yeah. It's been nice to actually go into a gymnasium, not have to worry about wearing a mask, not have to worry about all those. The kids kind of feel like it's normal to them, and that's what you want when you have a group of young guys, is you want it to be as normal as possible. And our school's been good about allowing us to be a little more liberal with the mask mandates at gyms and on buses, and so we're appreciative of that. But anytime the kids can just go play basketball and not have to worry about any external factors, it's good.
Just looking at the rosters around the district, it seems to me like you guys probably have as much coming back next year as anybody.
Yeah, I think probably we have 4 starters coming back. The only player we lose at all that really plays any, besides Clayton Hook, who plays a little bit for us, is Wesley Morris, and he's a super senior. I call a super senior.
Yeah.
He decided to come back. So, really this year what we told our kids is we're playing for next year. We're trying to get as good as we can possibly get for next year, but good things can happen while you're working as hard as you possibly can work. And we feel like we're as competitive as anybody in our district. I think our district has probably 3 of the top 6 teams in the region, in my mind. And, we just played Madisonville the other night at 79-70. It was 74-70 with 3 minutes to go, I think. And then we had to start fouling. They made their free throws. So, I think it's anybody's ball game. It's a toss-up. And, seems like we always play Caldwell County.
Yeah.
Madisonville's always the favorite. They always get the number 1 seed, and we always end up playing Caldwell County. So we're excited about it. We're working hard for it. And, I think it's anybody's ball game, really.
Seems like basketball this year in the second region is actually pretty good. I mean,
it is.
Last year I thought it was down overall just a little bit, but seems like there are a lot of good teams this year.
Yeah, there's a lot of good teams. Lyon County, of course, is really good. Madisonville's always competitive. Hopkinsville's really good this year. And I think you could throw in, Henderson County could be pretty good. Us, if we get hot, could be a threat. And then you've got UHA and Crittenden County, who's taking everybody to the wire.
Union County's pretty good.
Union County's pretty good. They beat us 5 at home, and then we went to their place and beat them. So it's been fun. It's been competitive. All of our games have been close. We've lost a lot of close games. Lost to 2, to Callaway in the 2A finals, and then they went on to win their first game in the 2A state tournament, I think. So, it's just been fun. Our kids, for the first time, I think, in a long time, feel like that they're competitive. They don't feel like they're maybe the little brother as much as they used to in regards to Madisonville and maybe Caldwell County, who's beaten us, has beaten us every time since I've been here.
You look around the state, though, at the scoring leaders, and I think there's 4 from the second region in the top 11 and 5 in the top 20, and you've got one of those kids.
Yeah, Marcus Eves he's one of those kids that he's one of those special talents that doesn't come along very often, especially at a place like Hopkins County. You've got him, you got Jabrianne, who are, I think, 2 of the best players, if not the best 2 players in the region, the way they're playing right now. So, I think, man, second region basketball is hot right now, and I think it's going to be fun to watch. Somebody's going to get hot in the regional tournament and do something they're not supposed to, is what I think.
Well, we talked about Jabrianne a little bit earlier, and I think some colleges are going to kick themselves later for missing on that kid. Maybe he's a little short for them. I don't know what the deal is, but when you talk about the Eves kid, well, he just looks like a college player.
He does. If you look at him and watch him get off the bus, he looks like a D1 player all the way. I think Jabrianne, man, he for what that kid's been through and all the stuff that's been going on, I mean, man, that's just a testament to his will, how hard he works. He's up early in the mornings going to Trilogy. I mean, that's what you have to do to be a great player, and he's done the things that he needs to do to be able to play college ball. And I think he deserves a fair shake, a shot from somebody, because like you said, they're going to be kicking themselves if they don't.
Well, the 59 over at Hopkinsville the other night was kind of special, and, your name's on that Caldwell list of single-game scores, but, man, 59 is a lot of points.
59 is hard to do. I mean, I can remember back when I played, and even back when I was coaching Matt, who has he's on that list a few times too. It's hard to score 59. I mean, I thought I shot a lot. I thought I shot a lot of free throws. I mean, you have to be on fire. You have to be, everything you do has to be clicking. That's a hard thing to do, especially to score 59 and 70.
Yeah.
Which, that leaves everybody else 11. So, we know we have a monumental task on trying to stop him in the district tournament. That's probably going to be our number 1 focus. You got to let somebody else beat you other than Jabrianne. But that's hard to do. His legs are huge. I mean, and I gave him a hug after we played up here a month ago or so, and he's just a big kid. I mean, he's huge. Yeah. He's solid.
Well, he beats people to rebounds because he's so quick off the floor.
He jumped. He's got a quick hops.
Yeah.
And he's just so strong, and his quickness is deceptive. He can get you. He's shifty. He can get you moving one direction, and then he's gone by you. And once he gets his hips by you, I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do with help side or anything else because he's so physically strong.
The Eves kid is a lot that way too, except a little taller, and I think this season he's learned to finish around the basket.
Yeah, Marcus worked hard over the summer and changing his body quite a bit too. He was awful lanky last year, and he's gotten stronger. He's gotten a little quicker. His hops have gotten a whole lot better too. He's a quick jumper too, but his shot's gotten better. He worked hard on his jumper. His three-point percentage is a lot higher this year than it was last year. I think he's one of the region leaders in regards to percentages on the number that he shoots. But, Yeah, I mean, Marcus is going to be fun to watch the rest of this year. Next year, if he has a good summer, I think colleges would be silly not to. And he's not gotten a lot of interest from colleges either, so I don't know what's going on.
That's surprising because he just looks like he would fit that mold.
He does. I think last year not playing a whole lot, us only playing 12 games because of COVID and quarantines, I think that probably hurt him a little bit. But I think, for him and Jabrianne both, they're going to start getting some phone calls and some interest and some looks.
Well, and the Eves kid kind of comes from a basketball family.
He does. His brother played at Murray, played at Evansville a little bit. His daddy played ball. I think Javion, his brother's in Georgia right now, playing overseas. So
he played down at Murray State for a while.
He played at Murray State. He played at Evansville, for a little bit. So he comes from the family. He's got the stock in him, and I think Marcus is one of those guys. I mean, he's bigger than me than I was, stronger than I was, quicker than I was, can jump better than I could, probably shoots it as well as I did. So if somebody like me can play at Western Kentucky University, I think he can play at Western, he can play at Murray. And I think same thing with Jabrianne. If somebody just gives him a chance, he's going to work hard enough to get to play.
Remember, Javion Eves was at Madisonville North Hopkins, and if you're a Katawa County fan, it felt like he was there for about 10 years and scored about 30 every time the Tigers played him.
Yeah, he seems like he was always on fire when they played Katawa County, and it did seem like he was there forever. And probably people are saying the same thing about Marcus. He's been with me since his 8th grade year, so that's a good family. Coach, his daddy's on my coaching staff, Coach Eves. It's just, he's knowledgeable. He gets the best out of his 2 kids that he possibly can. He's got a younger brother that's probably going to be better than both of them.
Is that right? Wow.
I think he's about in the 6th grade right now. So, that's good stock. That Eve stock is good stock.
Talking this morning with former Tiger standout Michael Fralix, now the boys basketball head coach over at Hopkins County Central. Need to get to a break here on the show, but we'll be back with more after this here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Fredonia Valley Bank.
A wind advisory from the National Weather Service remains in effect from 6 o'clock this morning until 6 o'clock tonight as a large storm system rolls through the weather edge listening area and most of western Kentucky. This afternoon, showers and possibly a thunderstorm can be expected. Some of those storms could produce some heavy rainfall, a high of 66. And again, that breezy south wind will move to the west by the afternoon. Gusts could be as high as 45 to 50 miles an hour. That chance of precipitation is 100% guaranteed. Then tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms right around sundown and thereafter, mostly cloudy skies with a low of 22 and a northwest wind that could still be as high as 35 miles an hour at times, even after midnight. That chance of precipitation 50%. Friday, much calmer and a little chillier. Sunny skies, high of 41. Friday night, clear skies with a low around 28. But back to this afternoon, it's going to be warm, high of 66, with a wind advisory in effect and a storm system rolling through.
Are you struggling to afford health care or medications? Let Health First help you. Whether you are insured, uninsured, or underinsured, you will still be cared for at Health First Community Health Center. We offer financial and prescription assistance to all those that qualify, which is based on income and household size. Contact our office at 1-877-667-7017 for more information, or visit our website, healthfirstchc.net. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. At Health First, your health is our first concern.
Caldwell County is a special place in western Kentucky, featuring beautiful tracts of land. Even though the real estate market is always in a constant state of change, Bollinger Real Estate and Auction understands this and is ready to work for you.
Hi, my name is Ben Bollinger with Bollinger Real Estate and Auction. Whether it's a property valuation or time to sell, Bollinger's team is dedicated to work for you. Real estate solutions with a passion for people.
Welcome back to the Sideline Report here at 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Thanks to Tori Hammond for coming in earlier and talking about the West Kentucky Hoops Classic. Joined now by Michael Fralix and talking about his team over at Hopkins County Central this season. The Storm 13-10, getting ready to play the Katawa County Tigers next week in the 7th District Tournament out here at the Community Activities Building. And Michael, you've seen just about everybody in the second region this season. Fair to say that maybe Lyon County and Hopkinsville, the top 2 teams going into the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, I think with what has unveiled up to this point, you have to look at Lyon County as probably being the favorite. Hopkins County, of course, being number 2. And then you've got Madisonville, who I think is right there with everybody else. And in my opinion, Katawa County is right there with everybody else. This is a long time that it's been a long time since I can remember the region being so. I mean, all you got to do is get hot. You just got to make it there.
That one team for
if you
a
make
week
it
and a
there,
half.
if you make it there, you can get hot and do some special things because I think it's that even right now with everybody.
Well, it's so tough to win the second region in basketball, though. You can have a great team. Lyon County saw that last year. They had a great season, and then Hopkinsville got them in the first round. You coached a Caldwell team that was as good as we've seen in the last 30 years, and Henderson County got you guys in the semifinals. It's just tough.
I mean, there's so many good teams in the second region, and there's some that are the same, and you see the same names and faces every year. But as I said, I think this year is the one year that somebody can get hot. And, I mean, similar to what we did in the NCAA tournaments when I was at Western. I mean, we had no business, beating the teams that we beat either, but it's just a matter of getting there. You got to be in it to win it. It's a matter of getting there. It's a matter of getting your kids to believe. And to get them on that ride, you can catch fire and you can do something special.
Well, when you get to that point, is it just a matter you're playing a game, whether it's the NCAA tournament or high school district and region tournament, is it just about that last 4 minutes and just making that play or making that shot?
It's making the play, it's making the shot, and something that people overlook a lot of times when it comes down to tournament time. It's the team that's willing to take the charges. It's the teams that are willing to dive on the floor after loose balls to get the 50-50 balls. It's those types of plays, the unselfish play that somebody makes that usually puts somebody over the top. It's those little things that people that aren't glamorous. It's not going to get your name in the paper. You're not, they don't really have a statistical category for them all the time. They really don't give a whole lot of plaques for them. But it's the little things like that allow teams to do things special during tournament time.
Because you can watch a lot of games and they're close all the way to the end, and it's just a possession here or a possession there that last 3 or 4 minutes of the game that decides who wins the game and who doesn't win the game.
That's right. It's just a matter of when it gets down to the last 3 or 4 minutes. I mean, the best players have to make the best plays. If you're going to be the player, you got to be the best when it's crunch time. And I think there are a lot of teams in our region who have that best player who can make shots at crunch time or make crucial plays at crunch time. But I'm still a firm believer that it's somebody that's a role player that dives on the floor or is willing to stand in front of a 200-pound guy and take a charge that reverses fortunes and allows you the opportunity to be competitive at the end.
Michael Fralix is with us this morning. This is the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, Princeton, Kentucky. And, Michael, I tweeted out last night that the last time I saw somebody get 59 points was probably a pickup game down at Fredonia.
It's been a long time, man. I haven't seen 59 points in person, I don't think. That's a big achievement. It's hard to get 59 points. I can remember scoring 48, 49. I've watched Matt get, 49, 50. It's a hard thing to do to get 59.
Well, 30 is a great game.
30 is a great game. And 59 is an unbelievable game. And, it's just a testament, like I said earlier, it's how hard that kid has worked on his game, on his craft, on his body. And now he's reaping all the benefits for that hard work that he's put in.
What surprises me anymore when I see teams and players from around the region is how well everyone knows each other. I think Jabrianne's played against a lot of those guys from Madisonville and maybe Hopkins Central. And over at Hopkinsville, they all know. Everybody knows Travis Perry. Everybody knows Marcus Eves. I said once on the air that I think secretly these kids go to games and watch each other and kind of pull for each other.
I think so,
They
too.
probably wouldn't tell you that, though, if you asked them point blank.
Yeah, I think AAU basketball has a lot to do with that. A lot of them play on the same AAU teams or they play in the same AAU circles. And for somebody that's old school like me who had a rival with Lyon County, you wouldn't be caught dead talking to anybody from Lyon County back when I played. It was hard for me to stomach sometimes to watch kids, for example, when we played Madisonville, talking to them on the floor like they, friendly. But that's the way kids are now, and I think AAU has a lot to do with that. They go to the Y or different places all the time and play pickup. So it's just different now than it was when I was there.
Yeah, you'll see two teams playing, and then you'll see a kid from another team in the stands watching those two teams play, and there's a little banter going back and forth, and it's kind of fun in a way, but like you say, it's not something we used to see back in the day.
No, it's not something that I'm used to. It's not something that old coaches are used to, but I think that's just the way kids are now with social media, with technology. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows something about everybody. So it's just a different time, a different generation. But, I think most guys and most teams do a pretty good job of when it's between the lines. They take care of business and are friendly later.
You mentioned playing at Western Kentucky University. Certainly a standout career there as well for you. How much do you kind of keep up with the Hilltoppers now?
I keep up with them quite a bit. Of course, my dad calls me every time they're on TV and says, "Hey, Western's playing on channel so-and-so." He keeps up with them a lot more than I do. But, it's always fun to go back and watch them play and reminisce and see some old people that you haven't seen in a long time. My wife and I went back, I think it was last year, and watched them play Belmont. May have been 2 years ago, but it was fun to see some old people, and it's always fun to get back. Once you're a Hilltopper, you're always a Hilltopper. So it's fun to see them do well.
Well, and you mentioned the NCAA tournament games, and that had to be a big thrill. I know when Eli Pepper went to Lipscomb, he said one of the things he wanted to do there was play in the NCAA tournament. Of course, Lipscomb had never been, and dang if he didn't end up going to the NCAA tournament with them. But, I mean, that had to be something at Western that you were just like, hey, we're in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, yeah, it's something that I'll never forget. I mean, I don't think when I went to college, one of the things I even thought about was maybe going to an NCAA tournament because Western was smaller. It's not one of those big-name universities. But, I mean, the feeling you get when you walk into a practice session, a walkthrough or whatever they call it, I mean, there's 10, 15,000 people watching you practice. So it's just a different place, and you've got people wanting autographs after practice sessions. So it's a lot to take in, but it's even the kids that I have now that play for me go back and watch us play Michigan, to watch a shot against Michigan. They hear about it. It's fun for me to tell them stories, especially during this time of year, of what happened to us and how we did it and how they possibly could, maybe do the same thing. Just get hot. Just get there, get hot. Let's see what happens. Like I said, we didn't have any business beating Memphis and Seton Hall and with Penny Hardaway playing. I mean, we didn't have any business beating those teams, but we believed. Our coaches did a great job of getting us ready. And I think this time of year, it's more confidence and belief than anything.
Well, when you start talking about when you played the NCAA tournament to your kids, do you notice their ears perk up a little bit?
Yeah, I think maybe it lends a little more credibility to you, maybe. Because you've been there, and it's something that they all want to do. I've got 2 or 3 kids right now that play for me that really want to play college basketball someday. I think Marcus probably can. I think I've got a little shooter named Drake Skeen who's a sophomore who's I think he's in the top 10 in the state in three-point percentage and three-pointers made. So, it's fun to talk to those kids and be able to tell them, look, this is what it takes. I mean, I know you're upset because we're practicing at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. But you're going to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning just about every morning when you get to the next level. So, it's good to fall back on those stories and be able to share with them and to be able to kind of help them understand what it's going to be like and what type of work it takes to get there. I mean, it's not easy. You're going to have to put in work, and you're going to have to separate yourself from everybody else, and you're going to have to be different. And it's good to be able to tell those kids that.
You guys finish up the regular season at Lyon County on Friday. That's going to be a good game to get you ready for the postseason.
Yeah, that's a good one to finish with. We played them early in the season. It ended up 11, but it was one of those games where it was 5, 6, 7, and we had to start fouling. And, of course, Lyon County, if they've got you with 3 or 4 minutes left, they're going to get you.
Yeah.
Because they do a good job of keeping it in the free throw shooters' hands, and their free throw shooters make free throws. But we're excited about it. We're not spending a whole lot of time preparing for it. We're just going to go play them, see what happens. The practice time that we do have left, we're working on getting ready for the district tournament in Caldwell County. But we're excited about going to play them. Caldwell County played them close. Everybody's had a chance at them. We're going to go give them all we got. That's all we can do.
It's going to be a fun postseason. Good luck to you guys.
Thanks, sir.
Appreciate you coming in the rain today.
Anytime.
That is Michael Fralix, former Caldwell County standout, now the head coach over at Hopkins County Central on the boys' side. Thanks to Tori Hammett for coming in, talking about the West Kentucky Hoops Classic this morning. That's going to wrap us up here on the Sideline Report. This is Todd Griffin of WPKY Radio and YourSportsEdge.com. Thanks for being with us here on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
WPKY Princeton. Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. No details are public, but it's reported that Russia has responded to U.S. and NATO proposals regarding Ukraine and Russian security. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says Russia's claim to be withdrawing troops from Ukraine's border is not true.
We see some of those troops inch closer to that border. We see them fly in more combat and support aircraft. We see them sharpen their readiness in the Black Sea.
Secretary Austin at NATO headquarters in Belgium. Testimony continues at the federal hate crimes trial of 3 men convicted of murdering Ahmaud Arbery in Georgia, saying they thought he was a burglar.
Jurors heard from an FBI agent detailed years of text messages from all 3 defendants containing racial slurs and social media posts describing